Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, then we're going to try not to use the mic because I forgot to have the mic.
It's okay here? Yeah.
Yep. Does everyone want to kind of switch over here? We do a little more. All right, well, welcome to Nautilus Theater. My name is Lori. I'm the stage manager for Xceleration. Has everyone seen the show yet? No. So is everyone coming to see the show today? Yes. Okay, well then I'm just going to give you a little bit of information, tell you about the show and the process and how we put it together. We have some of our cast here that you guys can ask questions to, and they will all talk a little bit as well. So we started this process, we started the rehearsal process April 30th. Production meetings started a little bit before that, and then we brought everyone in. We are working in partnership with a company called Shape Productions. They have designed and directed the show for SeaWorld, specifically for SeaWorld Orlando. They're also doing shows for some of our other parks as part of our 60th anniversary celebration. This one is unique in that it's an urban theme, an urban street theme. So all the other shows have a different theme. So this one is specifically unique for our park. We have, yes.
Use the microphone for us with hearing aids. We can't hear.
I'm sorry, is that better?
Yeah.
No problem. You want me to stand up too so you can see me? Okay, so we started rehearsals on April 30th in the theater. We started with our dancers. There are 10 dancer tracks in the cast. We have 19 dancers that know the show. So we have 2 different casts of dancers, and different ones are here on different days. Within that cast, we have our dance captain, Ashley, who's on the end.
Nice.
And one of our 2 swings, Jessica. And I'll let them talk about their roles a little bit later. But a big difference between them is our dance captain is in charge of maintaining the choreography and the blocking, and our dance swing knows all the tracks in the show. So all of our dancers learn either 1 or 2 tracks, but then we have 2 swings who know all 10 tracks in the show. So that way, if something happens or we're missing someone, they can bounce into any track at any time.
Nice.
Yes.
Are all your shows the same, or do you go through different tracks and different shows?
All the shows are the same, so whatever track the dancers are scheduled for the day, they will most likely do all 3 shows in that track, barring any other things. Some of our dancers, and Jess will get a chance to talk about this, know multiple authors in the park, so sometimes if there's a need at parade or something, one of our dancers will get pulled over there, and then our swing will go in. So we started our rehearsal process. We had 5 days with just the dancers, and we had 2 choreographers. They learned all the choreography in the show. There are... How many dance numbers are there? 4 dance numbers, plus a little bit of traditional work. Then after the dancers do all their choreography, we brought in the specialty acts, which you'll meet some of our specialty act performers here. This is Mikey, Mitch, Aiden, and Cody. These are our trampoline wall acrobats and our aerialists. So then they came in, they got some time, a few days to work on their acts in the space, on the stage, with their music for the show. And then we brought in our tech team. Behind the scenes, we have 8 technicians running each show. We have 4 backstage stagehands, 1 on audio, 1 on lighting, and then 2 spotlight operators. So there's 4 in front of the house and 4 back of the house. And then I sit in the booth with them and so we brought them in. We have a bunch of them that we're learning. Each track is very specific as to all the moves. When you see the show, there's some very big set pieces that have to move very quickly and efficiently and in the dark. So they got a lot of practice with that, figure out how everything works with no one on the stage. Then we brought the whole cast together. Our first day of everyone together is called our transitions day. So we worked on moving all those pieces in and out with everyone in their places on the stage and practiced that over and over again, so we got that a little bit smoother. Then we started adding on the other elements. We added on the lights, we added on the audio, all the speakers, because we were rehearsing with a smaller speaker first. And then we started putting the whole show together. And then we had 3 days of tech and dress rehearsals where we just run the show top to bottom. We figure out where we had some challenges, we go back, we fix them, and then we try it again. And then by the end of all of that, we ended our dress rehearsals with our ambassador preview shows. So we invited some of our ambassadors who are throughout the park to come and enjoy the show before anyone else got to see it, so that they had an audience to perform for. And then we opened on May 23rd.
Nice.
So any questions about our rehearsal process? It is very fast. When you are working in a theme park environment, we don't have the luxury of having months and months to put a show together. Our performers, like I said, are working on multiple other shows. Our technicians are on multiple shows. Some of them are coming from out of town, and they're here just for the contract. And that is part of their skill, is that they can learn the show quickly and get it up on stage ready to go. And then when this contract ends, we'll move on to their next show, and it'll be the same quick rehearsal process right into shows. Yes?
Quick question about the rehearsal thing. Like the three acrobats, you guys do like your own show within the like, you don't tell them what to do.
Yeah, we
Okay,
created our act.
Same with Aiden. You come in with your own show. Okay, so it's not part of the rehearsals. It's just timing and whatnot.
Correct. Like they came in, I think, with an idea of what we were going to do. Sort of. Yours choreographed more here. It depends. Each act is a little different. Like our BMX riders, the first act that you see that's part of each ramps, they had never rode in this space before. It's a little bit of a tight space for BMX. So they created their act right here when they got here.
Okay.
So same with our trampoline act. You guys created it while we were in the rehearsal process. So, yes.
Are all the performers like new hires just for the show, or are they people who were working at SeaWorld who said, I have talent in this and I want to try out for it?
So the question was, do all of our performers work here and like internal, or were they hired for the show? It's a mix of both. So a large chunk of our dance cast were internal performers. They performed elsewhere around the park, in our Sesame parades, or special events, or a lot of our other event shows, like our holiday shows. So.
I've been in a few.
Jess has been in many of our offerings, and I'll give her a minute to talk about that very soon.
Halloween Horror Nights too.
Yep.
And a lot of them perform elsewhere at our parks in Orlando. So, and then we did hire some new dancers, so they are now part of our SeaWorld family, so hopefully you'll see them in other shows after the show ends. But all of our specialty act performers are part of the other company that we are working with. They were hired through Shade Productions to do just this show as part of SeaWorld. Some of them, have you guys worked for Extreme or VIVO? Okay, so some of them might have worked here through another production company for some of our other offerings, but a lot of them, this is their first time working here, so we're really good. Yes?
We have one opening.
How long is the actual show?
The show itself is 24 minutes, and we perform it 3 times a day. Depending on the park hours, there's 12:30, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 7:30. Yes?
I was wondering if the performers have similar athletic backgrounds, or like dance or gymnastics, or are they all different?
They all range. Our dancers listen to the dance background, some have a little bit of the gymnastics background as well. Our acrobats, all of them each talk about their background. Yes?
How do they do, like, when they go on the ramp and they do
How do the leaps work?
A lot of training. A lot of practice and a lot of trial and error. So they do wear safety equipment. So they practice a lot. So before you guys come and see a very polished show, there's been a lot of falls and bumps and bruises along the way. All right, on to start passing the mic. I'm going to let each of our performers that are here talk a little bit about themselves and give you a little bit of their background and their role in the show, and then we'll open it up for some more questions after that.
Awesome.
Well, my name is Jessica, and I'm sure you've seen me quite a few times. I was in A Wondrous Night, I was in Monster Stomp, and also in Cirque Holiday. I do a lot of swing work here, as well as just being in primary tracks. And so this is my 3rd show that I've done swinging forward. It's just dance primarily. And so just like she was saying, my job is to be able to jump into any track at any time. And the really fun part, and also difficult part is almost every track within the show is slightly different dance-wise. So it might be a different point or a different spot in formation. So it's trying to keep all of that, you know, remembering, okay, I go here or I do this. And so that's been a really fun challenge. And yes, started dancing when I was little, and then I moved here about 2 years ago actually to work at SeaWorld and perform here in Monster Song. That was my first offering. And then I also work over at Sesame Street in the parade as a dancer, and I host over at Dolphin Adventure.
Hello everybody, my name is Michael. I primarily do tramp wall, but I also do a couple other different things. I like to count myself as a generalist. I initially grew up in gymnastics. My parents owned a gymnastics gym up in North Carolina. We ended up moving to California, been in Florida, been in Pennsylvania, so all over the place. Started my acrobatic career when I was about 17. Been in it for about 12, 13 years now. Been all over the world, absolutely wonderful. When we come into different shows like this, half the time I've only run wall with one other person. And so we kind of get on wall together and we figure it out as we go along, which is a wonderful and awesome experience. And when we kind of train outside of the show, we are training inside of like gymnastics gyms and mats all over the place, and we do get a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but it's an absolutely loving experience, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Hi, my name is Mitch. I'm currently based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and flew out here to do this show this summer for Shea Productions. And it's funny that somebody mentioned if there are similarities in background. Absolutely not. Me, Cody, and Mikey all have very different origin stories. I didn't do gymnastics. I played football, baseball, track and field. I grew up in Michigan in a small town. I had horses in my backyard. But I had a trampoline too that I lived on every summer. And then when I was 19 years old, I ran out of sports to play and got offered a job at a gymnastics gym and started coaching, and it became my entire life. I started flipping, training. It completely consumed me and I fell in love with it. And then during the pandemic, I moved to Southern California and lived in a house of 12 other circus acrobats who were all out of work at the same time, with a tramp wall in the backyard. I had never been exposed to circus, live performing, tramp wall, none of it. And then I was kind of just like plucked out of Michigan and dropped directly into the culture. And through that process, learned the discipline, learned the industry, and then as things came back up again, I was like, maybe I want to try this, and was able to have everyone fooled that I've been here the whole time. It's worked out great so far. But yeah, like so I found it really, really late, and it's completely changed my life. And he mentioned going all over the world. Like I did a national tour with Disney last year. I got to go to Germany, which, funny enough, I met this guy in Germany of all places. We show up in Florida together. Yeah. So it's really given, very indirect path to it, but it's really given a lot to me, and just like him, super grateful for it and for the world.
Nice. What's the best way to learn how to do a flip on a trampoline?
Talk to someone who knows more than you. Seriously, good coaching and good information. I mean, you'd be amazed what's actually possible. You know, I've coached anywhere from preschool to adult classes, and when the structure is there, it's really amazing what people are capable of, and it's almost always more than they think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Brian, and I do an aerial act in this number, and it's such a blessing to be on stage and performing my talent, and all I want to do is really inspire the youth. I went on AGT, America's Got Talent. You guys watch that?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I started when I was 14 years old, creating what to do in the air. So, and then I went on AGT when I was 16 years old, and I kept continuing. I made it to the finals, which is absolutely crazy, and I got gigs all across the world, and it just means a lot. So I just want to inspire the youth to really take my talent and show it and inspire and keep creating. So,
Can I ask a quick question? Are you going to come back to Busch Gardens in Tampa?
yes, I was there last year, hopefully.
Well, I know summer before last you were there for summer
Yes.
Cirque Electric show. And then we missed you last year. And found out you were here, so we're here today.
I don't know if you could hear that. He was asking if Aiden would be back at Busch Gardens in Tampa. That's actually where I got to meet Aiden a couple of years ago. We got to do a show together. It was really cool to hear that he would be here this year. My name's Cody. I'm one of your trampoline acrobats here. Coming in to create the show, like we were talking about, it's always a bit of a wild ride for that first week, you know. I was lucky. I know both these guys. I got to share stage with Mikey in San Diego, and Mitch is a good friend of mine. We haven't got to perform together yet, but really cool to be here with them, taking care of each other on the wall. It's been really fun to explore this setup here. Yeah, we got a chance to see it yet. Definitely come see the show. We have a cool set going. My experience here has been wonderful. Everyone at the park's done a great job helping us. When we first got here, they had to get a little more clearance for us. We were going too high, move this around, and got that sorted. The dancers have been great. We have a really cool camaraderie going with the whole team. It's not always the case, so it's been really special. My background, once again, very different. I did grow up in the gym. I was a little bit of a gym rat. I loved to play on trampolines, but never any formal training as a child. I got into doing the basketball dunk shows, if you've ever seen those trampolines, NBA halftimes and stuff, and that was my break into performing. And it wasn't until just 5-6 years ago I discovered trample. It's kind of a newer discipline as far as circus arts go, and I got pulled into the same community Mitch was mentioning. It's a really special community, and got to know a lot of amazing people, travel, see a lot of parts of the world, and yeah, it's been a special time in life. So just feel lucky to be here, and yeah, thanks for coming out to get to know us a little bit.
Wow.
Hey guys, I'm Ashley. Like Lori said, I'm the dance captain for the show. Dance is my only background. I've been doing it my whole life. I've been dancing for 21 years, professionally for about 6. I have worked with Shape Productions for a few years. I did Cirque Electric and Cirque Extreme over in Tampa for a couple years. Moved to Orlando for college, so I am based out of Orlando, and I was lucky enough to get brought back and work with them again. Again, like Lori was saying, my main job is to just keep the integrity of the show, keeping it looking the same way that it looked on the last day of rehearsals until the last day that we close. And yeah, I just love being a part of the shows that Shape Productions does. I think it's really special to bring two completely different worlds together into one place. It's so funny because whenever we come into the rehearsal process, we look at them and we're like, oh my gosh, we can never do what you do. And then they say the same thing to us. So it's very different training, very different worlds, and it's just really special to bring it together and share each other's hearts with each other. And that's it, short and sweet.
How do you jump off?
That's the scariest part. Yeah, you get up there and look out, it definitely looks even taller. You know, like we were just saying, there's always progressions, and we're lucky to find a community that really helped us along. Lots of mats, lots of baby steps at first, and then eventually you just gotta take the leap. Yeah, it's a step at a time to build to the comfort level and skill to do what we're doing now. Yeah, please.
So there's 3 of you here. We've got a show that's about 3 at a time. But is it just the 3 of you, or are there more so that you get to phase off?
That's a great question. She was asking if it's just the 3 of us. It is. We're doing around 150 shows this summer. It's just the 3 of us on this spine wall. So it's a 2 trampoline setup with a wall. And it's high demand on the body, and that's part of the reason it's so great to be with guys like this. We take care of each other. We have little tweaks, bumps and bruises, as was mentioned earlier, and we just step up and try to carry each other along as we can. But thank you for noticing that, and yeah, it's part of it for sure. Yeah.
I guess this question would be for all of you, I guess, and of course, Miss
Lori
there. What inspired you all to create this show called Xceleration?
That is a great question. Here, I don't want to hog the mic. Does anybody want to take a go at this one? Yeah, Lori, take it.
Yeah.
I just work here.
So I'll be honest, that was actually designed before I even joined the production team for the show. That was a decision that was made between SeaWorld's leadership and corporate entertainment team and the Xceleration team. They came up with the show concept and then brought it here, and then I know that we named the show after, based on the show that they designed for us. Also, before I continue, I know we're saying trample. Does everyone who hasn't seen the show know what trample is? Great. So trampoline wall. So we have two large, really bouncy trampolines, like the ones that you can see like in the Olympics, with a giant wall that goes in the middle. So they bounce on their backs and walk sideways on the wall and do flips in the air by pushing off the wall. They'll be on top of the wall, they jump off of it, bounce back up, and I don't want to give away a lot, so you'll get to see that later. That's a little bit more of a description of what trampoline wall. Yes, it's sorry, go ahead. The blue things are the scaffolding. It's part of the scenery, making it feel more of an urban show. We use them for just different levels. Like you'll see Ashley dances up on top of one, and then Aiden takes us out, or the curtain call on top of one. They just help set the scene for the show. Yes,
looking at the edge of the floor, I can't really tell, but I'm sure all you dancers and people who have land on your feet probably have like between yourselves a rating for different floors, how good they are. And I wouldn't ask you to say because this is your I'm asking you, like, between all the theme parks, there's probably like a rating system. So which ones are better for doing your gymnastics on? And for landing and not getting hurt.
That should be a great one on this, yeah.
So there's different types of stages. Yeah. So what you're talking about would be the level of springiness of the floor, like the sprung floor. We don't think this is sprung, but it is a wood-based floor. It's not a concrete-based floor. It is covered by a rubber vinyl that we call Marley. That is an industry standard dance surface that you can turn on, but it also has a lot of grip so that you don't slip. It's like that perfect in-between of grip and slip. Is that in here?
It's about the same. Just like I would say, as an acrobat, not a fan of concrete stages. Makes my knees hurt. Wood is more sustainable, and yeah, so like we're doing okay on this one.
Any more questions?
Are you in costume?
Yes, all of our performers are in their costumes.
Just wanted to make sure you weren't walking around the park like that.
So Ashley is wearing one of the dancers' opening look costumes. They all have an individual look that was all designed based for them, all within a theme. And then Jess is wearing our finale look for the dancers. So this is the finale for the curtain call. They're all in a matching look for this. And then Aiden is also.
He'd have to take his shirt off. But...
You gotta wait for that one.
Yeah. Come see the show. Yeah. Yes.
For the trampoline folks, is weight training a big part of your training? And if so, how strong do you guys get?
Yeah, you can definitely see Aiden's job.
It's funny because I think it depends on who you ask. I would say for us, for me and Cody, for sure, yes. It's really good. We train for stability. So, like, obviously we're trying to get stronger. The main thing we're trying to do is just make sure that our muscles can hold our joints together through all the impact that we put ourselves through. Like, I have a friend in Vegas who's doing research on circus and acrobatics, and he put what's called an accelerometer on somebody, measuring G-forces when you do trampoline. At the bottom of the trampoline, when you jump off the wall and hit at the bottom full compression, we are under 14 Gs. Okay, so it's 14 times the force of gravity. So, and we do that 30 times a show, times 3 shows a day, times 150 shows or something. So yeah, the strength training is becoming more and more necessary the more that we do in order to just have the longevity. But it depends on the person.
You have a comment on that?
Yeah, so when I first started to kind of get myself ready, I did do weight training, stuff like that. I was actually very underweight for my age. When I was about 18 or 19, I actually only weighed 105, 110 pounds. So when I got on the trampoline, I didn't make the bed big, really, at all. It was a lot of work for me just to get to the top of the wall, and of course it all depends on the trampoline as well. So I went in and went to a workout gym and tried to build more mass, more muscle for it, but the more I actually did tramp wall, the more my body got used to it, and it developed the muscles I needed for that specific thing. So then I didn't go to the gym as much, and really just kind of went to more my own personal body weight training, which I do push-ups, I do pull-ups, and those kind of things. I do very light rehabilitation towards like my shoulders and my neck. As Mitch was saying, there's a lot of G-force. So if, say I haven't done it in 6 months and I come back, my neck is really sore. And so I'll do a lot of stuff because we're doing a lot of crunch motions, so I do a lot of pull motions to kind of balance out the difference of what my body's doing in the show and what I'm not getting in the show, I will do outside the show. Hopefully that answers the question. Anything else?
Very excellent. Very
Are there any more questions?
How many stagehands do you have?
We have 4 stagehands backstage, and then we have our audio and lighting operators in the booth and 2 spotlight operators. So there's 8 technicians for each show, 4 stages.
And the director? The director? Is there a director?
The director, so he was part of our third-party company that's Shape Productions.
Okay.
He currently is actually in Texas, announcing their show that they're opening there as SeaWorld.
So this is part of that whole Cirque sort of organization, or no, I don't know what you even call the whole Cirque thing. But
No, this is not part of Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil is another company that puts on their own Cirque shows.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever you have a show like this, the director comes and they mount the show. They run rehearsals, they put everything together, and then once the show is open, usually the director steps away. They're either working on other projects, and he will come to visit us and check in on the show periodically throughout the season. But once the show is open, then it moves from the production team onto the stage management team to run the shows on a daily basis. But then we also consult the team if we have questions or we need assistance with something. I still work with them all the time, and I email them every day.
Yeah, I think my last question is, since you're not really part of Cirque du Soleil, but why do you use the word circuit?
So cirque is actually the French word for circus.
Right.
So cirque has become a term that most people now associate with this new style of circus that doesn't include animals. Has kind of become the term that everyone associates with this style of circus arts.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Are you doing this at all of the SeaWorld parks, and how long do you anticipate the circle will run through?
So the show will be closing on August 2nd. We're doing a short run. The SeaWorld San Antonio show is running a little bit longer, but they're just opening this weekend. So actually today they're opening. And I'm not sure the length of their run. I think it's also just for the summer. So this is just a summer offering as part of the 60th anniversary celebration. And then after the show ends, we start production on our health stream show, Monster Five. And then as soon as that ends, actually overlapping with that, we start rehearsals for Wondrous Night, our Christmas celebration or Christmas show that is this year. So those two kind of run at the same time. So Monster Stomp runs on the weekends, and then on the days that Monster Stomp is not performing, we change the set out. We rehearse on Wondrous Night. That show actually takes about 2 months to rehearse. Wow. And yes, that is a massive, massive production. And if you've seen it, all right, well, if there's no further questions, our next on stage. We would go through a whole hour-long preparation before the rest of the cast starts coming in to rehearse for the day and start warming up. The rest of the cast will be coming in later. We just brought in a select few for you guys to meet today.
We're special.
All right, thank you guys so much for coming.